Hello everyone, Specter here and welcome to Star Citizen. It's June now, so it means that Alien Week is coming. So it means that CIG is going to sell people alien ships in Star Citizen, no matter it's flyable or not, or in concept I mean. So in this video I'm going to briefly talk about the alien ships that is available or in concept in Star Citizen, so that you have a better view when you are checking the website, like in CIG website on CIG website. So just a disclaimer, I'm not suggesting anyone to purchase anything via that website because all the ships I'm going to talk about would be expensive and it's not necessary at all to purchase, because if you really want to experience this game, all you need to do is to purchase the starter pack, which is $45 USD I mean, is enough already, because many things in the game right now is not certain yet, it's not finalized yet, it's still in alpha. So you don't need to purchase anything that I'm going to talk about. So just be aware of it, because yeah, as I said, it's quite expensive to be honest. Alright, so before further ado, let's get to it first, shall we? Okay, so let's talk about this Xperia Blade first. So this is a light fighter, one-seater, and it's a replica of the Vandal ship, the Blade. You got 2 size 3 plasma cannons and 2 size 2 laser cannons, and also you got 8 size 1 missiles on board. As a light fighter, I like its looking, it's cool, it looks cool, but in practice I don't like this ship at all, because as a light fighter it means you need to engage hostiles quite often, but the interface is red in color, so it means that I got a hard time to locate my enemy. And also, if you talk about the weapon rate wise, I don't think it's a good thing for the combat ships, because you will get damaged and those weapon rates are not be available for you to swap out. So it means that you are going to stuck with those weapon rates. So the downside is that you may not be able to replace your weapons once it's destroyed. If you lost it, you lost forever. Even though you repair your ship, I mean. But there's a catch. Nowadays, we can use multi-tools to swap weapons manually. So even though we cannot use a multi-class to swap the weapons, you may have a chance to swap your weapons for the blade if you use your multi-tools. I'm not so sure whether it will work or not, but at least we have a chance to do that. With in-game price of 3.3 to 3.4 million, it's quite expensive as a light fighter, but I still suggest you guys to fly it around first before you purchase it with real cash. Alright, so the second ship I'm going to talk about will be this Xperia Talon. It's a light fighter, one-seater, although you can consider as a stealth fighter. It comes up with 2 size 3 gimbal weapons or fixed size 4 weapons if you swap it out. For weapon rates for the missiles, I mean, you got 4 size 2 missiles on board. So in practice, in the game right now, it's quite agile for me. It's quite easy for me to get behind enemy ships and shoot them. So it's quite good to use. In the lore, according to what they said, it builds in Terraform style, so it means that something related to strike first and strike hard will be in this ship, so it means that boom and zoom tactic. You got a very good shielding, suppose, but weak in armor, so don't expect it to be very good for you to tank up the damaged. But anyway, all these features are not here yet, including those cockpit that can be detached as an escape pod, so that these things are in the future. But you can consider this ship is a very agile light fighter for now. So in the game, it's around 1.8 to 1.9 million in-game credits to purchase, so it's quite cheap relatively as a light fighter. But of course, if you really want to purchase with real cash, go ahead, but I would suggest you to purchase it in-game first, fly first, before you use your real cash. Alright, so number 3 ship will be the Talon Shrike, the cousin of the Talon. So it's a light fighter or stealth fighter, one-seater. You only have 2 size 1 gimbal weapons or 2 size 2 fixed weapons. And in return, you have 24 size 3 missiles on board, which is far more than the Talon itself. So you can consider the relationship between the Talon Strike and the Talon will be as same as the relationship between the Fury Mix or Fury, which is one using missiles, one using guns. In practice, for me, the Talon Strike, similar to the Talon, is quite agile, so it means that you will have a easier time to get behind enemy ships and shoot them down. But due to its weaker armament, it means that you need to use more time to take your enemy out. And also, the price point would be a little bit expensive comparing to the Talon, because for the Talon, you need 1.8 to 1.9 million in-game credits to purchase, while the Talon Strike, you need around 2.2 to 2.3 million in-game credits to purchase. But still, I will suggest you to check it out first test it out first with in-game credits before you use your real cash to purchase it, because a lot of features, as same as the Talon, is not here yet. So it means that no detachable cockpit, no strong shielding, weak armor, something like that. They are all in the future. Should be. So yeah, I would suggest you to test it out first before you really purchase it with real cash. Okay, so here comes the Xperia Prowler, the stealth dropship. So this dropship is quite unique because it is the only dropship that is getting the stealthy capabilities. But well, let's talk about the armament. You got 2 size 4 gimbal weapons, or you can change it into 2 size 5 fixed weapons. And you got a remote turret, so it means that you can still house 2 size 3 weaponries on it. And so it means that for the firepower wise, you still having a strong firepower. But since it's a dropship, so it means that no missiles on board. For me, I don't suggest people to purchase this ship right now because a lot of features not finished developing yet. So it means that, well, it's not very useful right now because first of all, the NPCs are not be able to stay on board, so it means that you're always flying an empty ship unless you got some friends with you and having some role play. If not, the ship is not very useful. Secondly, the gravity emitter underneath the ship is not finishing developed yet, so it means that this ship is not as stealthy as it should be according to the lore. So it means that you still be able to be detected a relatively long range on someone's radar. Thirdly, the armor and also the unique shield, the turban shielding technology, is not finishing developed yet, so it means that you will not have any kind of strong armor or like the shield that can block ballistic rounds for absolute situation. So yeah. Also, the last thing is the cockpit supposed to be detachable, just like the escape pods, but now it's not. So it means that if the ship goes down, you go down with the ship. So that's the reason why I think that this is not a very good ship to purchase. But if you think it looks like a lobster, it looks cool, then yeah, you can purchase whatever you want. Then here comes the Khartu-al. This is a light fighter, one-seater. You got 2 size 3 gimbal weapons, or if you want, you can change them into 2 size 4 fixed weapons. You do not have any kind of missiles on board, so close quarter combat only. This ship is quite agile, although comparing to the Gladius or Arrow is not as agile as those ships, but still it's very good for dogfighting. There is a major downside though, is the wings will deploy when you're in flight mode, so it means that you're using the largest area to face your enemy. It means the enemy will have a higher chance to hit your ship. And very unfortunate, those engines are located on your wings, so well, it brings you very, very agile maneuvers, But still, if you lose one of your wings, it means that you will lose your engine, and it means that you will lose control of your ship, so just be aware of it. The other downside is that, well, for my own personal experience, do not deploy this ship in the hangar, because you have no idea how tall this ship is. So for most of the time, when I deploy this ship in the hangar, something bad happens to my character, so just aware of it. For the price point in the game, it costs around 2.1 in-game credit. 2.1 million in-game credits. It's quite expensive as a light fighter, but I still suggest you guys to test it out first in the game before you purchase this ship with real cash. Okay, so let's move on. And then here comes a Nox. This is a hover bike, not a ship. The main usage of this ship is for fun. Maybe in the future you can use it for racing. You still got some weaponries on board, 2 gimbal size ones, or you can change them into fixed size ones if you want it. But still, it's not very useful for now. Maybe in the future it will be much more useful. And personally, I will not suggest anyone to purchase this ship with real cash unless it's related to CCU or other thing else. If not, well, this ship is not worth it, as you can purchase this ship in-game with a relatively low price. So yeah, why not to purchase this ship with in-game credits only? Yeah, so let's move on. Okay, so let's move on to this Santukai. It's a concept ship, and I know I kind of butchered the name of the ship. So, well, the Xi'an will not come after me, so yeah. Anyway, so this is the concept ship, a medium fighter, still one-seater. You got stronger armament comparing to the Khartu-al. You got 4 size 3 weapons, as well as 8 size 2 missiles on board, according to the design, I mean. So since the outlook and the design similar to the Khartu-al, I suggest that this ship supposed to share similar advantage and disadvantage of the Khartu-al. So the advantage of this ship probably would be very agile. It means that your ship would be very good for dogfighting. But the downside is that still, you got a larger surface area to face your enemy. It means that your enemy will have a higher chance to hit your ship. It means higher chance for you to lose your wing and your engine, and of course you will lose control of your ship. But no one really knows about the mechanic until it's flyable. So, well, you can just simply keep your good imagination of this ship if you really like the ship. It's quite expensive to purchase with real cash though, because for now it would be about 220 USD for this medium fighter, which is still in concept. No one really knows how does it looks like for the final phase. But I think they will increase this price very soon. I'm not so sure, but anyway, probably. So yeah, if you really like this ship, I would suggest you to wait until it's flyable first before you really stuck yourself to some concept ship. Yeah, because it's still quite expensive to purchase. Alright, so let's move on. And here comes the Railen, a relatively new concept ship of the alien species. So this is a multi-crew medium freighter. You can consider this ship as a kind of whole series of ships and also the Khartu-al combined together, because you got a very unique feature of having your ship can be like transforming, while just like the whole series of ships, you can stuck some cargo containers outside of the ship. So your cargo capacity for now would be 320 SCU. So it's not that much, but still, as a medium freighter, it is quite plentiful. So for the weaponry, you got 2 main turrets that can house in total 4 size 4 weapons, so 2 for each turret, and also you got plentiful of missiles on board, 16 size 1 and also 4 size 2 missiles on board, which is quite powerful, to be honest. Now, this ship got some, well, I would consider as you may have some problems when you're operating it, which I will include it in the future video when I'm talk about like the problems of owning an alien ship. But well, for now, one of the downside is that this ship got your containers like hanging outside of the ship, so it means that you may have kind of problems if in the future, like Star Citizen, like when the containers are having some sort of like a health pool, then you might risk your cargo being shot at when you are under attack, and also you may have a higher chance to be like stripped out from your ship when someone's trying to perform some piracy to a ship. So yeah. Anyway, to be honest, this ship is cool, looks cool, but well, many things are not really well developed yet. So yeah, I think people may not be able to see this ship anytime soon. Okay, so let's move on. Alright, so finally we are talking about this species who shares some similarities to a person who keep on saying I am Groot. I know this joke is not very funny, but anyway, we are talking about the Banu species. The Banu species got the only flyable ship in Star Citizen right now, which is the Banu Defender. This is a light fighter, although many people consider it as a medium fighter because of its size and its weapon rates. For the weapon rates, you got 4 size 2 gimbal weapons, although those tachyon weapons are not very good for me, but still is powerful for some people. If you don't like them, it's fine. You can change them into size 3 fixed weapons, so it means that you will have 4 size 3 fixed weapons on board. At that time, you will have a very strong firepower. For the missiles, you got 4 size 2 missiles on board, so you still have some capabilities to engage enemy with a relatively long range. Unlike the other fighters, you got an interior, so it means that it's easier for you to do other thing else instead of just having a dogfight. So for example, you can eat and drink inside of a ship, and also you can do some box delivery missions if you want it. Yeah, so comparing to the other fighters, you got more things to do, I think. But this leads to a larger in size as well, so it means that, well, your ship is kind of big and huge. It's easier for people to hit your ship. But still, well, it's a fighter. You expect it to be hit by enemy fire, so well, why not? For the price point itself, it's around 2.7 to 2.8 million in-game credits to purchase in the game. And of course, I would suggest you to fly around first before you purchase this ship with real cash. Okay, so let's move on to the last ship. Alright, so finally we are going to talk about this Banu Merchantman, or BMM if you want to call it like that. This ship is the largest alien ship that is available for players to purchase, although only with real cash because it's still in concept. But still, it's the biggest alien ship that's available for now. So this ship is a flying market in space, just like the Privateer. But of course, comparing to the Privateer, this ship is smaller and cheaper in price. But of course, cheaper is not that kind of cheap though. It's quite interesting to talk about this ship. I will make a separate video about this Banu Merchantman in the future, but some history about this ship would be quite interesting to talk about it in here. Back in 2013, this Banu Merchantman is supposed to be a ship that shares similar size as a Constellation series of ships. But after 10 years of development, it's getting bigger and bigger. So now the size of this Banu Merchantman would be slightly bigger than the 890 Jump. So it means that we are growing older while this ship is getting bigger, and also it means that the Banus are not not building their ships, but instead they're growing their ships. But of course it's a joke, and yeah. And also, get bigger not just because they need to fit more cargo inside, but instead they need to add more functions inside. One of the things is that they need to add a hangar for the Banu Defender because it's supposed to be a companion to the merchantman. A long time ago, there's a myth about the Banu Defender would be hanging outside of the merchantman, but now this myth is being killed by CIG because they add a hangar for that. Along with the hangar, they add a med bay for the Banu merchantman as well, which is a good thing for the big ships in the future of Star Citizen. Just like the size of the ship, the weapon size will be increased as well, because the last version of the Banu merchantman will be using the size 6 main weapons, but now the main weapons will be upgraded to size 8. So it means that it's much more powerful and you have capabilities to be a threat to any kind of capital size ships. Also, comparing to other ships, you have a little bit slightly thicker in armor, so it means that you can treat this ship as a blockade runner and you can punch holes to the blockade and go to your destination. But all these are stories, not true yet. Until they settle everything down and become flyable, then it would be the final version of the Banu merchantman and people can tell how it looks like. But for now, yeah, just a myth. Alright, so basically that's it for today's video. By talk about all the available ships for the Alien Week. All the ships that I talked about will be based on the ships that are available for the Alien Week last year. I hope I didn't miss out anything, but if I do, I'm sorry about that, because for now it's not available for me to view what kind of ships they will release or they are selling right now. So if I say something wrong, or just simply leave a comment down below to talk about it. Feel free to. Alright, so that is it for today's video, and I hope you enjoy, and I shall see you guys next time then. Bye bye.